Hey everyone, Casey here, and today we're looking at the top 10 best Star Wars cosplays ever. For those of you who don't know, cosplay is about taking your love of Star Wars one step further by dressing up as your favorite character. Star Wars fans have even created their own characters in the Star Wars universe, or they start fan communities like the 501st Legion or the Mandalorian Mercs. They all create their own costumes for their own characters, and of course that's pretty cool. Today we're going to be looking at their favorite pieces of cosplay inspired by the Star Wars universe. And number 10 is IG-88. One does not simply cosplay as IG-88, and we couldn't find many details about this particular cosplayer, but whoever they are, they made an awesome spectacle of their IG-88 costume that was shown at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim 2015. This cosplay is full size and features a ton of accurate details, including the appendages he has for hands and the cylindrical-like head, and it's an amazing job. Dan Moser's K2SO cosplay. Darren Moser created a life-size piece of K2SO cosplay that he wore in the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con. Moser gets props for this costume because, of course, as a droid, K2SO is a very tough costume to pull off. He's over 7 feet tall, and of course there's no live K2SO in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The former Imperial security droid turned rebel hero was created using motion capture and digital effects only. But in spite of that, Moser created his life-size cosplay practically, and he operated it a lot like a puppet. He made the K2SO portion around a PVC skeleton that would hold up the weight of the plating that he could easily operate, and it all comes together in the fun and fancy package that is K2SO. Fraser Bowie as Chef Gourmanda. Bowie celebrated his first trip to Star Wars Celebration Orlando in 2017 by coming up with the idea of dressing as an obscure character from the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special. That character is Chef Gourmanda, who was played by Harvey Korman in the variety show. Bowie created his budget cosplay of Chef Gourmanda for only $15. His cosplay obviously became a pretty huge hit at the convention, and many fans asked him to chant the legendary lines of "Whip Stir" from the notorious Holiday Special. Cosplaying as a giant lightsaber for a Star Wars convention? Why not? Moyo Kajimi gets tons of originality points for her lightsaber cosplay that she wore at Star Wars Celebration Orlando. Even Hayden Christensen and Mark Hamill got in on the act, posing for photo ops with Kojima at the convention. She created her costume using metallic silver fabric, cardboard, styrofoam, and you could probably figure out a lot of glue. It even included a short inflatable blade. Since she couldn't take the costume past TSA, she had to finish most of it in her own hotel room after 2 days of prep. Needless to say, the costume was a big hit at the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, and there's even that legendary video with the Rey and Kylo Ren cosplayer reenacting the famous scene from the end of The Force Awakens. Alexina Duncan's Hera Syndulla. Duncan is a UK-based freelance cosplayer who's been working in the UK film industry since 2010. However, her passion has always been Star Wars. Duncan created her own costume for the Star Wars Rebels hero, the ace pilot Hera Syndulla, all by herself. She created a look for Hera that fully realizes the hero, but also creates a more grounded and realistic look for her as well. All of the elements of the Hera costume were personally designed and built by Duncan, and they all came together exceedingly well. 000. So Ken the Saint created this great cosplay for the 000, aka 000, that he showcased at, again, Star Wars Celebration Orlando last year. In case you didn't know, 000 is the murderous evil protocol droid who looks a lot like C-3PO but with a vicious sadistic streak in pages of the recent Marvel Star Wars comics. The Saint had originally started this project way back in 2013 when he got a resin cast protocol droid head. The Saint also plans to convert the costume into a C-3PO version as well with gold chrome for the next celebration in 2019. Mike, Paul, and Dave's Phase 3 Dark Trooper. This cosplay was showcased at Celebration, however, it wasn't good enough to take home the top prize at the most elaborate and fantasy cosplay category. This is based on the Phase 3 Dark Trooper from the Star Wars Dark Forces video game. While it wasn't good enough there, we definitely have to give this costume props for the sheer size and level of detail. It's over 8 feet tall and was built in less than a year, and not to mention that there's a person inside the armor wearing the stilts and hand extensions. Dean Smith's Lama Su. Not even George Lucas was able to create actual, real, live Kamino aliens on the set of Star Wars Attack of the Clones. But Dean Smith was able to do it, and he showcased his costume for the Kamino Prime Minister, Lama Su, at Star Wars Celebration Europe in 2016. Smith worked for over 10 months to build this homemade, hand-sculpted, and hand-painted Lama Su cosplay, and we have to say, it's pretty spectacular. This costume was only able to take second place at the Aliens, Droids, and Outer Rim category for the cosplay contest, because the top prize actually went to the Order 66 creatures and effects and Julian Checkley's Grumgar. This piece of award-winning cosplay was created by Julian Checkley of Order 66 creatures and effects in Galway, Ireland. This record-breaking cosplay created a 9-foot live replica of Grumgar, one of the aliens featured in The Force Awakens in Maz Kanata's palace. And of course it makes sense because Grumgar in the film was created using practical effects. This costume took the top prize for the best costume at Celebration 2016, along with the best costume for alien droids in Outer Rim. What else? Julian Checkley's costume also broke the Guinness World Record for the tallest Star Wars cosplay costume at over 9 feet tall. The level of detail and size for this cosplay are immense. It was so good that it almost made it to the top of our list. However, it got edged out by the one and only Tested's Rancor costume. Frank Ippolito of Tested put together this pretty amazing piece of cosplay for Comic-Con 2015. They created a Rancor costume. You know the Rancor, the giant monster Jabba the Hutt keeps under his palace that he feeds his tragic subjects to? Well, he created an amazingly detailed and highly accurate Rancor costume that he wore at Comic-Con. What else? He designed and built the finished product in less than a month. The costume was made using foam, and he created using references from an original test costume used by the actual Return of the Jedi production team. Then he brought it to the streets of San Diego, California for Comic-Con. And look at this thing. It looked like it jumped right out of the movie. If I was a small child, I would definitely be hiding in my stroller right now. And this near perfectly captures the Rancor from the original Star Wars trilogy. And Frank Ippolito and his team clearly went the extra mile to make this some pretty epic cosplay. Hats off, Frank Ippolito. You made the top of our list. And that was our list for the top 10 best Star Wars cosplays. But what did you think? The Star Wars cosplay world is wide and vast, so what cosplay didn't make the list that is your favorite? Please let us know what you think in the comment sections below. And until next time, I'm Casey, and may the Force be with you.